Alright guys, welcome back to another Minecraft Xbox video. Today we'll be looking at a cave spider XP grinder, and as you can see here, there are a ton of spiders. Works a little something like this. The spiders just drop down right into this area here. You just look up and you can whack them with a sword, or you can use the crusher, which takes their health away, and you just hit it off like that, and you can just go back to smacking the crap out of them. Alright guys, well let's take a look and see how this XP grinder works. Alright guys, so how this is going to work is this tutorial will be split up into two parts. The first part will be me explaining dimensions of the trap and things like that and kind of running through it as more of a brief overview. The second part will be me actually going in and doing all the stuff on an actual cave spider spawner. As you can see, I'm on my flat world, and for this tutorial I'll be using these diamond blocks to represent the actual cave spider spawners. So as you can see here, the first part is, you find your mob spawner room, and actually this is totally inaccurate because cave spider spawners don't even have mossy cobblestone. But anyway, you get the idea. So you find your spawner, and just to go over some basic dimensions. Again, the diamond block is the representing the cave spider spawner. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is when you find your spawner, you're going to want to start clearing out a room. Now, this room is going to be from the middle block, from the spawner block, 4 blocks in each direction around. And you're going to want to clear out 2 blocks below the spawner and have a roof 2 blocks above it. So you can see just like that. Now, some of the credit for this goes to Casper MC for some of the great advice on these types of mob traps. Great videos, funny guy. Check him out. But so as you can see, now keep in mind this glass and these open areas and things like that are purely for tutorial purposes. You want it as dark as possible in your trap at all times, and you obviously don't want huge gaping walls. Alright, now some other key things that factor greatly into any XP grinder that is attached to, that centers around an actual mob spawner are these 2 blocks right here. Now what these represent are the spawning radius of the mobs and the mob cap radius. So this first block right here is exactly 9 blocks away from the spawner. Within this radius around the mob spawner, about 9 blocks all the way around, is capped. There's a certain cap, there's a certain limit to the amount of mobs that can spawn in this area from that spawner. So what we need to do, what this whole trap does, is it moves the mobs a few blocks out in this area so that as many mobs as possible can just keep spawning, and they get pushed and out into this area. Now what this block represents is the max spawning distance that that mobs spawn at those for your little Minecraft guy. If you're any further away, mobs will not spawn from that spawner if you're past this block, which is 15 blocks away. This block is 9 blocks away, and this block is 15. So that's why all the things that will be happening are going to be centered in this area. So all the hitting of the mobs and all the mob transport will happen in this area between these 2 blocks right here. So there's the basic dimensions of the actual room. Alright, now in this area is the same setup, just without the iron block, same dimensions and everything. But now I'll just be taking you through the basic setup of the water transportation system and the crusher, and how to build the rest of it pretty much. Okay, so what you're going to want to do, you have your cave spider spawner just in the middle there. And on this back wall, now in this design we're building out that direction. You can build any direction, but I mean it's all going to look the same. So on the back wall you're going to want to place your water buckets 1 block or 2 blocks high in each of the corners back there, so your water is flowing towards the area you're going to be building in. Now, as you can see, the water forms a pyramid at the bottom here. You're going to want to go ahead and clear that out, just like this. Just clear out this whole area. Alright. Now, you want your water to keep flowing, so you're going to want to hit the block where the water ends, just like that. And so as you can see, the water keeps on flowing like that. Alright. Okay, so now that your water is flowing towards one single point, what you're going to want to do is actually, for this step, I'm just going to cut off the water. I'm just going to go ahead and block it all off for the rest of for the next few steps. Alright, so it should be directly in the middle. Go ahead and knock out 2 blocks and knock out 2 blocks beside that. So you're going to have 3 blocks in the middle going just like that. Now, go ahead and keep knocking these back, because this is where your channel for your water will be. Alright, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 blocks that are 3 wide. Just go ahead and dig back like that. Alright, so now when the water's flowing, it only flows to about right here and then it stops. So we're going to need to extend that flow. So you're going to want to count out 2 blocks, 1, 2, and then you're going to want to dig down another layer, just like that. Alright, so now this second tier is going to be 5 blocks long. So we've got 2 right there, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so you can go ahead and check that out. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to make a drop off. So we're actually going to hit one more layer and we're going to place signs, right? Just like that. Go ahead and hit out that below the signs. So you've got 2, so you have your wall, and then you have 2 blocks, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you have 1 block space, but this block is where your signs will be. Okay. Now what we want to do is, before we get too much further into this, is you're going to want to just hit down these. You're going to want to place pistons, just like that. Now this is actually going to be, this will be open down there, and this is going to be your crusher. So you can go ahead and come back here. Oh, did I just hit the signs off? No. Okay. So you have your little area just like this. So pistons 3 blocks away from your signs. Alright, so now once you have your pistons and signs placed, you can go ahead and release the water back. Alright, now as you can see, the water flows and it gets stopped right at these signs. That's exactly what we want. Alright, now this area that we are building in right now, you can go ahead and dig down 2 blocks, because this is where the iron bars are going to be placed. Just go ahead and place them right under here, so the spiders will get pushed down into this area right here, and you'll be able to look up and you'll be able to hit them just like that. Alright, so now what I did is I just cleared an area underneath the pistons, just like this. Now this is going to be how to wire up your pistons. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is, underneath your 3 pistons, you're going to want to place a block so you have an airspace in between there. You're going to want to take a redstone torch. You're going to want to place, you'll see that the water does not leak down the pistons or anything like that, because that would be bad. Alright, so now you just take a repeater, place it up against the cobblestone with the torches like that. Go ahead and take some redstone, and you're going to need a lever. So take your redstone, and you can go ahead and run this just pretty much to anywhere, pretty much. Just somewhere close to the gate so you can turn it on and off. So when you just hit this lever, it activates the crusher and deactivates it. So when it's on, it keeps the pistons closed. And when you turn it off, the pistons shut, and you will hear the terrible screams of spiders getting crushed. Alright, so yeah, and what I did is I just cleared an area underneath the pistons, nothing too fancy. But, alright guys, well, I mean, that is pretty much... Oh, and actually, before I end it, on this step, for a roof of this, you're going to want to keep it as tight as possible. What I mean by that is, you know, this is going to be a full wall, right? So what you're going to want to do is you're only going to want to have as low clearance as possible for your cave spider spawner. So you don't want to cut the water off, but you don't want to have too much space for them either. Now, the one exception is right here. Now, following the rest of my design, I would place the block right here, one block away from the ledge, but you don't want to do that because spiders get stuck there. So you're going to want to go up one more block, and then you can come down, just like that. So your roof of this is going to look a little something like that. Now I'll go through all of this again in the next part when I build it on an actual cave spider spawner. Alright guys, well, if you need a bit more instruction, stay tuned for the next part. Okay, so here I am in an abandoned mine shaft, and I am in creative mode, so you know that's why these guys aren't attacking me. But here is the cave spider spawner, and as you can see, I'm just sort of clearing out the area right now. Now you're gonna want to light it up really fast when playing in survival mode, because these guys poison the heck out of you and are no fun to deal with. Even in creative mode, they're annoying. So I'm just gonna kill these guys off. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is lay out in each direction. I'm just gonna use torches, but 4 blocks in each direction is what you're going to need to build. You're going to need to clear your room about this big, or exactly this big, rather. Alright. So, once you have your torches laid out, go ahead and just start clearing. Alright. Super fast mode. Alright, so once you're done with the basic room size, you're going to want to perfect any you know, if you messed anything up, you know, fix any open areas, things like that. You're also going to want to clear 2 blocks above the spawner and 2 blocks below. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. Super fast speed. And once you have the roof done, you're going to want 2 blocks below as well. Again, super fast speed. Okay, so now we have 4 blocks in each direction, 2 above and 2 below. So now can take some water, place it. I'm going to be building in that direction. I'm going to go ahead build in that direction, place the water in the two corners, knock out the pyramid, keep the water flowing by knocking these blocks out. Alright, now that I've got that, I see my center point. Now I'm just gonna cut the water off so I can build. Alright. Knock out the two blocks by that. Just gonna dig. Now that was just kind of I'm also gonna dig one block up, but the distance that I just chose to build there, you know, it just has to be a good distance. You'll know exactly how far you'll need to be in a few steps. So we have the wall, and then we have two blocks. So I'm going to dig this down. So that's one, and then this next tier will be 5 long. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, plus one more because we need to put our signs here. All right, we can. Oops, sorry about that. Now we can dig that down. Dig down under there. Go ahead and knock this out so we can get back here. Now we need to place our pistons. Whoop. Now there will just be one block in front of these pistons, just like that. And we can release the water. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this area in. Okay. So now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and dig out a little collection area. This is just to give myself more room. Okay, so dig that block out, and we're going to need to go one more down. Underneath the blocks that the signs are on, go ahead and place your iron bars, and you'll know you did it right when you just look up and you'll see the edge of the water just like that. So there's our collection area. Alright. And now we just need to get back to those pistons. So let's go ahead and dig back there. Alright, now I'm just kind of guess as to where these pistons. Alright, here we go. Now, you're going to need a bit of room back here as well for these pistons. So, leaving one block of air. Oh, gonna need that. One block of air between the pistons. Just go ahead and place your torches. They'll be in that block of air right there. Gonna need some repeaters to put into the backs of those blocks. Just like that. Connect it all with redstone. Go ahead and run it over to where your your iron bars are for the crusher. Throw up a switch just like that, and when you hit it, they should repel. Alright, sweet. Go ahead and close that off now. Alright, now we're almost done. The last step is going to be we're just going to go ahead and clear a little roof just like that so I can get out. So when you're building a roof above these guys, you're going to want to be as close as possible. Alright, so as little clearance as possible. Now, when coming along like this, alright, so you're just going to want to follow this now you see the ledge there. Now if I were to place a block like this, the spiders will get stuck. So we're going to come out 3 blocks from the wall, And now we can go down just like that. So you're just going to want to build across like so. Alright. Now, since everything is all walled off, you can go ahead and start hitting off your torches. Now I have to be very careful not to destroy the spawner. Okay, now, alright, so you got spiders spawning. Go ahead and seal off the room. Alright, so now, make sure everything's working. They should get funneled right down to you just like that. Alright, now if in the case that you're having trouble, spawning them, getting them to spawn, what you can do is if you just build up a little area just like this and just stand here, like to be more level with the spawner, or a lot of times if you just jump like right here, you can get them to spawn more. But sometimes if you're down like right here, waiting to hit them, sometimes they don't spawn, but usually they do. But in the case they don't, you can just go ahead and build yourself a little just a little place to stand, let them collect and things like that, and then eventually you're gonna have yourself a ton of spiders to just hit, and your crusher will work just like that. Time it just right and take it out and then continue the carnage. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this style tutorial. This was a little bit different than what I'm used to, all that redstone stuff, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you later.